freaking warn everybody, I'm filming a video, don't come in. Anyways, hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about a subject that is kind of hard for me to talk about, and one that I'm going to be dealing with for the next 18 years, actually 19 years I should say. Because it pertains to my kids. I filmed this video last night and it ended up being so long because I was explaining a lot of things, so I decided I was going to refilm it and kind of make it short, simple, and sweet. So basically, in a nutshell, I was in a relationship with a alcoholic and a drug addict for 7 years, and it didn't start out that way. We met when we were both really young, and of course, you know, young love, you fall in love fast, you fall in love hard. And his drinking and alcohol use progressively got worse. It really started to be bad when he was 21, because at 21 you drink, you party, and that's what you do. But he didn't do it responsibly. He did it very irresponsibly, and he ended up getting multiple DUIs. He got his license taken away from him. He went to jail a ton, and then right after I had our daughter in 2008, it went from being an alcoholic to then being a severe drug addict and becoming addicted to pain pills. Specifically, he got addicted to Oxycontin because what happened was, after I had my daughter, I had to have an emergency C-section, and of course I was given a prescription of Oxycontin. He stole it from me, took it from me, however you want to look at it, and took the entire prescription. And I think from that point on, it just got worse and worse and worse. He was going to my job and telling my boss that he needed, I was giving him permission to get my paycheck. He would take my whole paycheck, cash it, and use it to go to buy drugs, pretty much. And at that point in time, you know, he couldn't work because he had a criminal background and no one would really hire him. And it was bad. He would go on binges or benders, whatever you want to call them. I wouldn't see him for 2 days, 3 days. He would come back and, you know, money would be gone. He would have completely spent his entire paycheck and not even remember it. And then, you know, strange people would be showing up at our house and, you know, demanding that I give them money, that he owed them money. And it wasn't just like $10 or $15. It was $300, $400, $500 that he was, you know, having them front him, pills, money, whatever you want to call it, for this addiction. And it got really bad. And then, unfortunately or fortunately, I got pregnant with our son. I had to have another C-section, and same thing, you know, had to have medication. I couldn't take it because I knew he was going to some way, shape, or form, you know, take it from me, steal it from me, whatever you want to, whatever you want, however you want to look at it. And it's very difficult because when I had my children, they became my world, and I just wanted that to happen with him too. I wanted him to be a responsible parent and be there for his kids, and he never was. On my son's first birthday, I just had enough, and I moved to Georgia from Florida, and lived with my sister, and I pretty much cut, you know, talking with his whole family because I wanted to protect my children. I wanted a clean, fresh start, and that's the smartest thing I ever did, because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have met my incredible husband, and I wouldn't be living the life that I'm living now, and, you know, being as fortunate as I have been, because I put my children first. I put my children before, you know, before myself, and my children never have to want now because of that. My husband has been in my children's lives since my daughter was 2 and my son was 1. My daughter and my son are a year and 8 days apart, so they're very close. And my husband has been there for both of them, and then been there for my other son as well. And I am so incredibly grateful for my husband. I don't ever tell him how much he kind of rescued me in that situation, because my ex was not very good to me. I had a lot of, I think now looking back at it, I had a lot of depression. I had a lot of self-doubt. I didn't have self-worth. I didn't think I was anything worth to anybody. I didn't think I was pretty. I didn't think I was worthy of love, because I wanted that from him and I never got it. His first love was drugs and alcohol, and he didn't care what he had to do to get that. He would steal from me, steal from his mom, anybody, his boss, anybody that he could get what he needed from, he would take. And it was all about me. Take, 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 take. And, we tried to get him to go to rehab. We tried, tough love, no, telling him no. And it's like, eventually he would just, it's like being a dead horse. He would just break you down and break you down and break you down and break you down until he got what he wanted from you, which is sad, because, I was young and naive, and I wanted my family and I wanted us all to be together. And it was at the expense of my happiness, and sometimes I felt like at the expense of my safety and my children's safety. And it got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore, and I was not going to let him bring me down and put me into that same position where I could lose my children and also end up in jail. I was like, absolutely not. No, you are not worth it. No. So I left. And I live a completely different life now. My children and I live a completely different life. My husband was in the military, and he has taken incredible care of us. My children have never had to want for anything now. They are just happy and healthy, and my husband provides incredibly well for all of us, and we have a beautiful life. And I'm so thankful for that, because it wasn't that way for those 7 years. We struggled with money, with being able to pay our bills, being able to provide for our children. I think we moved houses every single year, and it wasn't a house, it was an apartment, because it was so unstable and it was not healthy. It just wasn't healthy. And I think the reality of how bad his drug addiction was finally hit me about, I want to say, 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, when I looked on Facebook and he was actually on the county's most wanted criminal list, for the county that I'm from, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. I mean, that says a lot when the sheriff's department puts you on Facebook for their most wanted criminal. Like, that's insane. Like, that means that you are not doing the right things. And so he went to jail for that instance for like 3 years, and got out, and I guess was good for a little bit, and then got back into the same habit, and ended up back in jail this last time for 5 years. And so my children, my daughter is 10 and my son is 9, and he's missed their entire lives. He's never been there. They have an idea of what he looks like, because I have a couple pictures of him that I've shown them. This is your biological dad, this is what he looks like. And I've kind of explained to my kids that he's made poor choices, and these choices put him in jail. And jail is for adults that make bad choices and they break the law. And I've kind of left it at that. I haven't really explained everything in detail to them, because they're still so young. I think me and my husband, we've kind of talked about it and discussed it, and we kind of feel like maybe when they're older, 15, 16, they can make the decision of whether or not they want to have a relationship with him. And I will kind of let them make their own opinion of their father. But for right now, I kind of have to say no. I don't want them to have anything to do with him, because I feel like, and I know this is just my thoughts on it. You know, being an addict, it has to be hard because you're constantly wanting to chase this high, this this dragon that I've heard people call it, this feeling of euphoria, and you only get it for so long and then you come down, and it's, you know, you get sick from the withdrawal sometimes. And, you know, he didn't stop being an addict because he wanted to. It wasn't his choice. He stopped being an addict because the law told him he had to. The law intervened on him, and they said, "You made poor decisions. Guess what, dude? You're going to jail." And so I kind of feel like his addiction was put on pause, um, you know, until he comes out, because time and time again he said, "Oh, I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do better." And, you know, it's the same old song and dance. Like, he does better, he relapses, he does better, he relapses, he does better, he relapses. And it's like, you know, at some point you need to realize that what you're doing is not working. You're not fixing yourself. You're making your habit worse. And I feel like he makes this habit even more complicated and complex because he doesn't just, you know, do it and that's okay. It's like, go big or go home. Like, he's gonna do it, and he's gonna do it full, like hardcore. And I know it started out from alcohol, and then it went into prescription drugs, and then I believe, from what I understand, it also went into heroin use and cocaine, because, you know, he's an addict, and it's very easy to become addicted to multiple things. You know, a lot of people do that thing and they have an upper, they need a downer to balance everything out, and that's very much him. He has a very addictive personality where he can get addicted like that to anything, and so that kind of, you know, scares me. I don't want my children around someone who doesn't have self-control, and I feel like it's better for them to keep them away from him. And unfortunately for me right now, I'm not really having a say-so in that, because we moved states and I have to cooperate with the Child Support Enforcement Agency, and they want to establish paternity for my son and my daughter. And that's such a hard pill for me to swallow right now because I know him. I know him, and I say this, I know him better than he knows himself, because I was with him for so long and I learned how his brain would work. And so I'm really struggling with this. Like, it scares the crap out of me because, you know, if they give him rights, then I don't have a choice, you know, and my job as a parent is to protect my children, and allowing them to have a relationship with him, I feel like right now is not safe. It's not a good thing. When they're older and they understand and can comprehend, you know, the full scale of this, then I will feel comfortable, because at, you know, 15, 16, 17, you're almost an adult. You understand, you know, drugs and alcohol and how it affects your body and your mind more than when you are 9 and 10 years old. And so I'm in a rock and a hard place right now. It's really, really hard, and I know that until my kids are 18, I'm going to have, whether I like it or not, to deal with this, to have to, you know, either say yes or no and explain myself to someone who, you know, might be like, look, I have to go by the book, I have to go by what the law says, and that scares the crap out of me, guys. It scares me so much. And so, you know, I wanted to make this video because recently a lot of people, you know, very well-known people are passing away from drug and alcohol abuse, and it's sad. It's an epidemic. It is something that, you know, affects so many people. And I mean, all you have to do is turn on A&E and watch the show Intervention, and you can see. And it's crazy because I have watched that show, and I can tell you right now, a lot of times I watch those episodes and I feel for that family because I've been in their shoes. I've been in that exact same situation where, you know, you have someone telling you, I'm sick, I need my drugs, I need my fix, and here you are saying, all right, this is the last time I'm giving you $50, this is it, you know, because you feel bad for them. You understand that it's a sickness, it's a disease, and you don't want them to hurt because you love them. But at the same time, you are enabling them. You are helping them get that fix. So you're like in such a hard place. And I've been there, and I've struggled, and it took everything in me to finally say, I've had enough, and I am not living this life. I'm not allowing you to take this happiness and my children's happiness and everything that I work for away from them. It's not happening anymore. It's not. Best decision I've ever made in my entire life, because, like I said, I am so fortunate now to have an incredible husband who loves me and my children, and he doesn't see them as anything different. These are our children. They call him daddy, and I always tell them, he may be your stepdad, but he is your daddy. He's raised you since you were 2 and 1. And, when they're sick, when they need school supplies, when they needed to go to the dentist and have, teeth pulled, when they've been sick with the flu, anything a parent does, he's there for them. And I am so incredibly thankful for that. And he doesn't know how thankful I am. I mean, he knows. I say thank you all the time, but I don't think he understands that I feel like he rescued us. He saved me when I didn't even know I needed to be saved, when I didn't know that I was worth so much more than what I thought I was. When you are constantly feeling like you are nothing because a drug or alcohol is more important, it hurts. It hurts so much. And I didn't know how much I needed to feel like I was wanted more than an inanimate object, wanted more than a high. I didn't know how much I needed that. And my husband gave that to me without even asking, without even a blink. And he knows about my ex's past and about, what we went through and what I struggled with. And he has been amazing, absolutely amazing. And I'm sorry I'm getting emotional because this is a very hard thing for me to talk about. And I am so thankful. I'm thankful every single day that I was strong enough to walk away when I did. And I've never regretted that. I sit here every day and wonder, where would I be if I hadn't have left? Would I be in jail? Would he have drugged me down? I think about that constantly, so much. And, it's sad. It's really sad that, it just consumes people, and it consumes and takes lives and families. And I just hate it because, number one, when we were trying to get him into a recovery center or just into therapy, it was expensive. I mean, literally, a rehabilitation center for a drug addict you're talking $10,000 to $15,000. Treatment is very, very expensive, and insurance a lot of times does not cover it. And that was a smack in the face because we wanted him to get help, but we just financially couldn't afford it. And when you financially can't afford something, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. So it sucks. But I really hope that this time that he's been in jail, he has a chance to really reflect and think. And I hope he comes out, and I hope he does change, because I have been so fortunate for my children's lives, for my daughter's 10 years, for my son's 9 years, to never have to miss a day, ever. I've always been there for them. I've been there for every birthday, when they walked, when they talked, when they first learned how to ride a bike, for their first day of school, for all of their firsts, everything. I've been there for everything, and he's missed all of this. He's missed it. He hasn't got to see just how truly incredibly beautiful his children are and how smart they are. My daughter is incredible. My son is incredible. They have the best heart, the best personalities. You know, they are just great kids. And I chalk it up to me and my husband raising them and raising them right, because I feel like, my daughter needs a strong example, of what a man is in her life. And he was not that. My ex was not that. And my husband is that, and it's incredible to see their relationship and to know, like one day my daughter's going to get married and she's going to have him walk her down the aisle. And I'm going to witness that beautiful moment. Like, it makes me emotional, because you should get that. And if I had to stay with my ex, he would have taken away all those beautiful moments, all those beautiful memories, because I literally would, be looking at pictures and be going, I can tell he's drunk there. I can tell he's high there. And that's a lot of times when I look back and think about it, look at certain pictures, I know that. I know that exact moment, what was happening. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad that so much time, and I say time because it was time was, wasted, and energy on trying to keep him clean and sober, and it was for nothing. Because at the end of the day, I'm here, I'm living my life, I'm happy, I'm in a great, relationship. I have a great relationship with my husband and my kids, and he is in a jail cell behind bars every day, and it's disappointing because it shouldn't have been that way. He should have been a man and stepped up and done the right thing, and he didn't. And now, another wonderful man is doing that job for him. So it's been a very eye-opening experience being in a relationship with someone who, is a drug and alcohol addict. But it's made me stronger. And because of that whole situation, I do not drink myself. I do not do drugs. I don't even take cold medicine. I can't, like NyQuil, Dayquil. That stuff gives me a buzz, so I don't take it. I don't like feeling like I'm out of control. So I've, just made a subconscious effort to just on everything because of going through all that. So, but this video is getting a little bit long, so I am going to end it. I just wanted to share this story with you guys and put it out there, and hopefully, I hope that if anybody is going through something like this, they get the strength and they see their self-worth and just walk away and leave. Because I came to the realization that nobody is going to quit drugs and alcohol unless they want to. It is their sole decision, and only they can do that. I wanted him to stop for me and my children, and in reality, he needed to stop for him. He needed to stop so that he could be the person that he wanted to be. So I hope that, he does that. I really do. And I hope that, like I said, for anybody that's out there that's in the situation, you get the strength to walk away and leave, because you're better than that, and you deserve more, and you deserve happiness and love and self-worth, and to feel that you are the most important thing besides, alcohol or drugs. So with that being said, I'm going to end this video, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.